Hello everyone, my name is Anupam Roy, and in this video we are going to see how we can validate a form using pure JavaScript. So for that purpose, I have taken a registration form with 4 fields: first name, last name, email and phone number. But before we start our coding, I need to tell you why we need validation in our application. If there is a form through which user can give input, then we need to have validation. Validation can be of two types: client-side validation and server-side validation. Here with JavaScript, we are going to do client-side validation. Server-side validation is not in the scope of this video. We are going to come up with a new video where we will show you how you can do a server-side validation with languages like PHP, Python or Java. But here, what validation we are going to do? Validation means that we should not allow user to enter something in the input fields which is not acceptable or which is harmful for the application. So, without wasting any time, let's get to the work. First, we will look into the code that we have already done for this registration form. We have 3 files here. One is index.html, which contains the code for this registration form. And to stylize this, we have style.css. I'll give this code to download in the description section so that you can start up with this code. And we have welcome.html. If the form validation is successful, it will go to the welcome.html. It's just like any other form with 4 input fields: first name, last name, email and phone number. We have also taken ID for all those 4 fields: ID fname, ID lname, ID email and ID phone, respectively for first name, last name, email and phone number. To produce the error messages with each field, we have a div. We have given a class error for stylizing. Here we have written the code for error, and within, if there is an error, it will show up for the respective fields. So we have this div for first name, this div for last name, this div for email and this div for our phone number. We have also have a submit button. So now, to validate the form, we can check input fields separately for the validation through onFocusOut function or the input fields, or we can just go on, submit the form, and while submitting the form, we can use onSubmit attribute for form and write a function over there and validate all the fields at once. I am going to take that route, and for that, here I am going to write onSubmit attribute for form field and going to return a function, and on that function I am going to write all my validation code. So validate my form is here. I'll go down and start writing the code. So within script tag, as we are writing JavaScript code, So we need to write it within the script tag. It is better if we can put it not after HTML but within HTML. So here, but let me tell you, this is a good practice, but if you are also writing it here, that won't make any difference. Okay, but I am going to write it within the HTML tag, not outside the closing HTML tag. Okay, so here I am going to write it. First thing is write function validate my form. Inside that, I just need to get the value. So I am going to get the values from all those input fields by IDs. We have already declared those IDs for the form fields. Now I am going to get the value from there using document.getElement by ID from JavaScript. Okay, so I am going to write here a variable where name and get it document.get element by ID fname, and I am going to fetch the value from there. I'll just copy those out and just replace the IDs for the sake of time, and email, last but not the least, phone number. Okay. I am also going to declare a flag valid. If all the validations are successful, then valid will remain 1. If any validation fails, then I will going to make this valid flag 0. And also, if valid equals to 1, then I am going to return true so that form can be submitted, else going to return false so that form doesn't get submitted. Okay, now first thing, as I have already told you, that we are going to do different types of validations. So what kind of validations we are going to do? First thing, we are going to check that whether all the fields are blank or not blank, because with blank field, blank value, I cannot do any processing on the data, and in the back end, if I get blank values, the database is going to be filled up with all the blank data, which I don't want. So I am going to check it in the front end itself. Okay, so front end means the client side itself. So I am going to check fname dot fname if fname equals to blank and valid equals to 1. So if it is so, then I am going to first show the error div. Again, I am going to get it by its ID, which is label fname and value. Sorry, I am just going to show the div first, because currently the display is none. That means it is hidden. So I just need to display it in line, and secondly, I am going to write an error within the div itself, the error div, that is label fname dot inner HTML equals to please enter first name. Okay, and as the validation failed, so I'm going to make the valid flag 0. I'm just going to copy it and do it for the others. I just need to paste it one more time, then just replace it with lname. In place of the first, I'm just going to put last here. Here I'll put email. Here I just need to change the name. Then here instead of first name I'll put email, and same way instead of first name here I'll put phone number, phone only, and here I'll write phone, and here I will put. So our first validation for fname is almost done, though there is a trick here. We'll see that. So first I am going to submit the form with all blank values. Okay, so it gave me please enter first name because my first name is empty. Again I am going to submit. It will again tell me that I haven't entered my last name. Again it should tell me I haven't entered my email. Now it should tell me I haven't entered my phone number. Yes, it did. So everything is fine. Now I am again going to submit. So as the form has all the values, so it just got submitted and came to welcome.html page. Fine. Now as I was telling you, there is a catch here. Suppose in case of first name I am not going to enter any value, but I am going to enter some spaces here. Okay, if I do that, see, it took those blank spaces, but in case of last name it is showing me please enter last name, but I haven't entered anything in place of first name, so it should show me that please enter first name, but it is not showing me that. That means we need to make a small change in our code. We need to remove spaces from all of our fields, because if I am also going to put this here and submit, it will be submitted. So we just need to make a small change to our code here. We need to put fname.trim. So it is going to trim all the spaces from the values that we are getting. Now if I go there, refresh and put here, it's going to show me please enter first name, because I haven't entered any values or any name. Instead I have put in only spaces, so it is showing me that error. Now I'm going to put on here I put Roy, here I put on Roy@gmail.com 2345678. Now I'm going to submit. Now our first validation is perfect. So let's go on, do some more validations. Next validation I am going to do here is for first name and last name. I am going to check that whether all the characters for first name and last name are alphabet or not. If there is any character other than alphabetic characters, then I am going to throw an error. For that I am going to use regular expressions. Regular expressions are nothing but a pattern. It defines a pattern. If the value which we are entering through the first name input field and last name input field matches with that pattern, then it is going to pass the validation. If it doesn't match, then it will throw an error. Let's see. So I'm going to write it here. I'm going to write it after valid. So var name range equals to start the regular expression. I have already written caret, and within third bracket I am going to write the acceptable values. So for first name and last name I am going to accept only alphabetic characters, so it is small a to small z and capital A to capital Z, and I need to have more than one occurrence of this thing. Okay, more than one occurrence of alphabets, and I am going to end the regular expression with $sign. Now let's check. So I am going to write if not fname dot matches with what? Name range, and still my flag needs to be 1, otherwise it should not show me error. So I'm just going to copy this here and change it as invalid first name, right? Now let's check. I'm going to quickly take the values, but here I'm going to put some numeric characters and see. Okay, so it gave me invalid first name because I have put in 111, which is non-numeric, non-alphabetic in nature. So that is why it is giving me this error. Now my form is fine because I have removed that, so it should be submitted. It did. So the validation for non-alphabetic character is absolutely fine. So validation for non-alphabetic characters, I should not be accepting non-alphabetic characters, absolutely fine. Now I am going to just copy that and do the same for last name. Here I don't need to write a new expression because the expression is same for last name. I'm just going to change the labels for errors, and here I'll do it last name. I'm going to check it one more time. Let's quickly put this values. Okay, so it's fine. Now here I'm going to put some special characters. In case of first name, I did some numeric characters. Here I will put some special characters because special characters are not also allowed. So here if I do that, it is giving me invalid last name. That means my validation is absolutely correct, and we can go on and start doing another validation, which is for email. So again, for email, we are going to check the pattern of the email. If the pattern, same way what we did for first name and last name, we are checking the pattern that whether any non-alphabetic character exists within our first name or last name. Similarly, we are going to check whether our email pattern which we are entering in the email field is correct or not. So for that, again I am going to write another email regular expression. So all regular expression starts with caret, and then for the first part of the email I am going to accept small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, 0 to 9, and then some special characters dot, underscore, dash. I am not going to accept any more special characters, and there must be more than one occurrence of these characters within third bracket, and obviously they are going to be @ because all emails have this @ character. Again, after @ character, I am again going to accept small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, 0 to 9. But in this case, I am going to accept only two special characters, dot and dash. And for the last part of the email, I am going to accept only after dot, small a to small z, capital A to capital Z, and I am going, at least there should be two characters. Okay, now it's dollar. Now let's go on and check it. Okay, same way, to reduce the time of typing, I am just going to copy it, because I am just going to check it here. Email range, here I am going to put email, here I am going to replace it, and here is email. Okay, so let's see how it works, whether I did it correctly or not. From Roy, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now all the fields are valid. Now let's check for email. I'll give some special characters which is not allowed. So if I submit, it gave me invalid email. Okay, so now I'll remove it from the first part of the email. I'll put some in the second part of the email. Again, it didn't went. So for the third part of the email, I'm just going to put C over there and see that whether still it is invalid or not. Yes, because there should be at least two occurrence of these characters. Now if I put C1, 2, 3, then let's see what happens. Again, it is going to be stay at as invalid email, because the last part of our email validation contains only alphabetic characters, no numeric characters, right? So that is why it didn't go to the welcome.html page. Now this is fine. I'm now going to submit it. If I submit it, it went to the welcome.html, which I have expected. So our email validation is also correct. Okay, so last thing which we are going to check for phone numbers, we will see that our phone number should be exactly 10 digit and it will contain only numeric characters or digits. Okay, so I'll write it here, phone range, and then character 0 to 9, and there can be only 10. There must be 10 characters. There must be 10 digits, and digits can be from 0 to 9. To reduce the time of typing, again I am going to take it from here and put it here and replace email with phone, email range with phone range, and invalid email in place of invalid email I will write invalid phone. Okay, so let's go and test it. Maybe this will work. And from Roy, I'll just put 5 digits here. Sorry, I forgot to change the label here. That is why it showed me in email. So here I am going to just type it one more time, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the validation showed up in the correct place. Okay, so our validations are good. I am going to again put all the valid things here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay, and submit it. So it went to the welcome.html page. We have successfully done with the JavaScript validation, which I wanted to show. But one thing you must remember, that this is a basic validation that we did. You can do more complex validations, and for that you need to learn a bit of regular expression, and I will try to come up with some videos on only for regular expression, because it's a huge thing. You need to understand and then write it. But just for your understanding, I have done it, and you can write more validations. If there is a password field in this registration form, you can check whether, which you generally see, that your password must be at least 8 characters and not more than 16 characters. Your password must contain this, your password must contain that. So all these type of validations you can do. But this video is just to give you an idea how to do validation through pure JavaScript. Thanks for watching. All the code for this tutorial will be available on the description part. You can download it from there. If you have liked the video, please give a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. See you in the next video.